beautiful piece of 1950s auto art out. This thing is just stunning, eh? This is built by Chevrolet. It's a 1959 Chevrolet Impala Coupe. It's Kim Poynton's. It's part of Cam and Kim's collection of old cars there. He's got a couple of others sitting in the shed here waiting to come back out. And this is cool. This is a stunning car. Every time I see it, it catches my eye. It really does. It just grabs me. I love the wings. I love the chrome. I love the tail lights. I love the grille. I love everything about this thing. It's just beautiful. It really is. It's stylish. It's got art. It's got real character that was built into cars right back in 1959, you know. Stunning. If you have a look at the interior, it's just beautiful. It's the extras built into this thing right back then is quite unreal, actually. It's pretty trick. It's all the curves, the glass, everything like that. It's there's a lot of work in this car. So it still runs the original 6, runs the original transmission that's in there, automatic transmission. Pretty special one, actually. It's got 2 oil pumps. You can still crash start this like a manual, which would have been handy back in the day. And be handy these days too. And she's pretty cool. Does a lot of miles. Kim gets out there and cruises this thing lots. So it's cool to see it cruising. It's a neat car. So check it out.
46 Chevy right-hand drive 3/4 ton pickup. So yeah, I guess Canadian built.
That's right. Cool.
Yeah, so I imagine it's probably been bought in end of the war,
Yeah.
being a 46.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all pretty original.
Okay.
It's had the body off at some stage. Some chassis all been, you know, sealed, and yeah, someone's done a reasonable job on it.
Man,
So
it looks
yeah,
tidy as. That's
But-
beautiful. Good track.
you know, it's a daily driver. It gets used for work.
It's super cool though. You'd stand out more in one of these than you would in one, you.
Yeah,
Definitely.
so it gets loaded up with pipe and bags of concrete and takes rubbish to the tip in it and stuff like that. And it's uber reliable.
That's cool.
Yeah, and just love it to bits, eh? Customers love it when you turn up.
Yeah, it's a classic. It's old school, eh? It's
Yeah.
neat. It's got character going on.
Big
What's the engine and trans and all that? What is it?
So the engine's straight six, and I don't know if it's the original engine. Someone did tell me that it might have been out of a Corvette.
Oh wow.
But it's no rocket ship, but sounds good when you say that.
It does.
And yeah, it does 100k on the main highway. But yeah, being the 3/4 ton pickup, it's got the 4-speed box on the floor.
Cool.
So your first gear is pretty much a crawler gear.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get used a hell of a lot. But yeah, it's really neat to drive, double clutching all the way. It's got that beautiful whine, first, second and third. So
It's old school.
there's absolutely no need to put a stereo
Nah.
in the cab or anything. So just listen to that gearbox.
It'd take you right back to your childhood, wouldn't it, eh?
Yeah,
It's
it is.
pretty cool, man.
It's really cool to drive.
Okay.
Until you hit a real big pothole, but it tends to wander a bit when you hit a big pothole. But apart from that, it's really cool to drive, and I've been all over the North Island in it, and it's never let me down.
That's super cool.
And yeah, I just love it to bits.
Yeah,
It's just,
man. You're pleased to cruise around it, you know?
it is, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is, and it's cool. It sits in the garage a little bit, but you know, like I say, it does get out and it does the work.
Yeah.
Work for the business, and yeah, I just love driving it. You know, it's just no power steering, no power brakes or anything like that.
Yeah,
Obviously,
gotcha.
it's all as it was in the day, and you know, had the logos painted on.
That's cool, man. Being hand done. That's awesome, eh?
All done as it would have been done in the 40s with one-shot lead-based paint.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you don't like it, it's too bad. It's what you got.
It's already on.
There's no hair dryer and it comes off or anything. So yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Cool character track. I love it, eh? It's awesome, man.
Yeah, and yeah, we use it on a weekly basis, I guess, and yeah, we'll probably never sell it. We'll just hang on to it, just keep using it. Yeah, it's a great truck.
That's way cool. Yeah. The Reese truck. Where's that name come from then?
Short for Cherie's truck.
No.
Cherie's truck. My brother and their kids always call me Ree, short for Cherie.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ree's truck.
Makes
Cherie's
sense now.
truck.
See, I've always wondered all these years.
Yeah. A lot of people can't connect what it is, but yeah.
I know, I thought it was a model of a truck or something. I'm thinking, nah, it's no model like that.
Yeah.
I was thinking, nah, couldn't figure it out.
Yeah, no,
There you
Cherie's
go.
truck. It's very
Okay.
personalised.
It's your little baby.
Yeah.
It's the second toy. Is it the second toy or the first toy?
First. First for me.
Now the first toy in the family.
That's the second toy in the family. But the first one for me, one and only.
Oh, cool.
It'll only be the one.
Neat, eh? Why green? It's bright green.
It was green when we bought it.
Okay.
We started looking in the States to import a truck.
Yeah.
And Neil McNichol rang one day and said there's a truck on Trade Me. So we have to go and have a look at it, and I looked at the ad and I said, but I don't want a green truck. He said, no, you have to have a look. And I said, but I don't want a green truck. So we ended up with a green truck. Good bones,
You can
no
blame
rust.
Neil.
Yeah, that's all Neil's fault.
Yeah, blame him.
So we just keep the same colour.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
No, it's great.
It actually suits it. It looks really cool, actually. Yeah.
It stands out.
Stands out, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's neat. I love it. Looks awesome.
It's an awesome truck.
Okay. So,
Took
glitter on the roof.
around in
What
it.
made you go that way?
There was already some, was it glitter on it when we first bought it? It already had a glitter roof.
Yeah.
But the boys decided it needed a bit more glitter. So yeah, a little bit more glitter went on, and then they decided no, glitter needs to go. And it's like, well, no, it needs to stay now.
Actually, nice.
It needs to
Cool,
stay.
eh?
Yeah.
It's a neat track. I like it. The detailing's cool.
So no, it's good fun just to let around it.
Cool.
Been on a run with Girls and Girls. There's a new group been set up for
Yeah.
women in their vehicles.
Excellent. See that.
So I've done the first run with that. So yeah,
Cool.
sort of getting out a little bit.
So welcome to Mark Solson's 1970 Holden GTS Monaro. It's the HT model. If you're into your muscle cars from the 70s and watching Bathurst back in the day, this is one of the buggers that used to run around there. So you're bound to love this. This is cool. This one's a wee bit modified. Still looks pretty stock though. She's sitting 4 inches lower than normal. Still sitting on mini lights though, so backlight the era. This one's running a 383 stroked out Chevy now. Back to a Richmond Super T10 4-speed manual. Borgorna diff and disc brakes all round. So she's pretty set up now. She's a pretty good street machine now. So have a nose. Welcome back to the 50s in the space race. Check this stunning machine out. This is just beautiful. It really, really is. This is Neil and Rhonda McNichol's 1959 Lincoln Continental Mark IV. This was actually built by Ford under the Lincoln name, just to provide a car for the rich and famous really, because to buy one of these, it cost you more than your average house at the time. It's just beautiful. It really is a work of art. You hear me rave on about the cars in the 50s and 60s being works of art, and they really are. I mean, if you get to check this thing out, it's just stunning. It really is. If you get the chance to check out the inside of this car, it's absolutely stunning. It really is. It's like sitting in your lounge suite at home. It's all buttoned upholstery. All the windows are electric. Even the back window wires down under power. The air conditioning actually runs through the driver's door to the back of the car, and it's all adjustable from the back seat, which is pretty damn cool for something built in 1959. It's quite amazing really, this thing. The dash just looks like something in a space race. It's pretty cool. There's lots of chrome all through this, and the interior lights are everywhere. It's yeah, it really is a work of art when you have a look at this. You would think this is a custom car, but it's really not. Neil's just done a couple of tricks to it, just to spice it up a little and just actually accentuate the lines that were already there. It's actually pretty cool. The front guard's been extended 3.5 inches. The door handles have been shaved off and placed into the top of the doors. The rear fins have been de-chromed and reshaped just to accentuate those lines as well. He's done the same with the graphics and the paint job itself. If you look at the detailing, it really just accentuates the shapes that are already there. It's actually really stylish. I really like this. It's quite cool. You'd honestly think this was a custom car, but it's not. It's straight out of 1959. It still runs the 430 MEL engine, pumps out about 350 horsepower back through a 3-speed auto. It's not made for robbing around corners and trying to do 100 mile an hour everywhere. It's built for comfort and style, and that's what the rich and famous want, just to cruise around in style. So if you ever get a chance to check this car out, take your time, have a decent look around. You'll be amazed at how this thing is built. It really is a work of art. It really, really is. So check it out. Welcome to Lisa Sawyer's A-Girls Model A 5-window coupe. This is a beautiful build, it really is. I've known Lisa for a long time, and I know she's wanted this coupe for a long time as well. So she's had a lot of time to think about how she's going to put this thing together. In a world of bling and full-on custom hot rods, this little rod sits proudly out by itself. Understated, yet classy and stylish in its own right, which really does make it stand out from the crowd. If you ever get the chance to check this coupe out in the flesh, take your time and have a really good look around. The detailing and the effort that's gone into Lisa's creation here is just stunning. Lisa's tribute to Marilyn Monroe and her style and grace has been portrayed so beautifully throughout this entire build. The interior is beautifully finished with white fox leather, buttonwood diamantes and metallic piping, and it really sets A-Girls out by itself. The switchgear and the levers, the knobs, everything has been done with diamantes just to match up. The boot didn't miss out. The interior side trims have been tailored to match the interior of the car, along with a cooler box on the inside having Marilyn Monroe airbrushed onto it. It all ties together beautifully. The engine didn't miss out either. Right from the firewall to the egg cleaner, the diamond theme has been carried right through here as well. Now, being the only Ford among two other Chevys in the garage, the engine bay actually holds a 350 Chevy, back to a turbo 350 trans, but the diff still remains the good old Ford styling 9-inch. The classic nostalgic styling of this little coupe really grabs your eye. With a 4.5-inch roof chop, skinny white wool tyres, it really does take you right back to American graffiti era and the styling of the street racing days. It's really cool. This really is a beautiful build, and it's no wonder it's been cleaning up all the shows around the country. Lisa's trophy shelf has certainly had a few additions since this thing hit the road. So kick back, check her out. Welcome to Richard and Jackie Thompson's 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air Sports Coupe. This is beautiful. I love this car, I really do. This truly is a beautiful example of the Bel Air. It is a custom, but fully in the style that the manufacturers would be proud of for sure. There isn't anything on this automobile that hasn't been dressed up, modified, some sort of custom trickery done to make it classy, yet not over the top and in your face. The interior exudes luxury like a top-of-the-line sports car, but still looks as if it came out of the era with the chrome window winders and the door handles protruding from the tan leather door trims. It honestly looks straight out of the packaging from 1957. The upholstery is leather throughout and looks completely at home in the Bel Air. The seats are even comparable to a modern day lounge suite, so you're nice and comfy when you're cruising the highways. Tucked away into that big bonnet, so no one knows, is a tricky little YN 144 supercharger feeding air into a stroke 383 small block Chevy. Now this little honey feeds air at 7.3 psi, which is a good chunk, into a small block Chevy, so you know when that gas pedal gets pushed down, this thing is going to jump like no standard 1957 Bel Air ever did. This really is a beautiful car to cruise. It sounds nice, rides nice, and really is comfy. It's honestly a piece of art from the 1950s era. So take your time if you ever get a chance to see this in the flesh. There really is so much to take in and check out. So check it out. Check out Turtle's awesome Willie here. This is Craig Jefferson's 1941 Willie's coupe. She's painted in atomic green with a traditional hot rod flames and custom pinstriping to take you right back to the American graffiti days and street racing and causing mischief. These are such an iconic automobile. They were not officially designed as a drag car of the day, more for a gentleman with a hat that could still wear it while he's driving his car around. But it only takes one hoodlum to start the ball rolling, I guess, and luckily, Turtle fits nicely into that realm. The paintwork on this is what it's all about with the Willies. Custom flames flying over the front guards and down the huge bonnet to the bug catcher poking out definitely takes you back to the hot rod movies we all love. Under that bonnet tucked away is a tricked up big block 454 back through to a TH400 automatic, shift kitted and kicked in with a 2,500 RPM store converter. So she's actually a pretty cruisy rod to drive until you want to shove it back in your seat. This all runs back to a pretty trick 9-inch setup for spinning them huge wheels. Being a scratch build gave Turtle the advantage of doing whatever he pleased with it really, so the interior is fully custom along with a built-in roll cage and a huge stereo unit. So check it out. This is Paul and Adele Collins' Dodgy. It's a 1966 Charger Rebellion coupe. It's quite a rare car actually. There's only 35,000 of these made back in the day. So Paul had a vision in his head that he wanted this Charger to reflect the early NASCAR racing era, with that staunch look of the solid black wheels, big tyres and traditional white lettering on them. Pretty cool really, I like it. The silver framed hemi-orange stripes along the side highlighting the manufacturer's graphic, and all done in a matte-like finish to give that non-imposing we're here for go, not for show look. The reverse scoop on the bonnet looks so cool, grabbing the air and just shoving it into that full-barrel car with that 383 big block Hemi. Love it. The body being originally silver was stripped and detailed to reflect the NASCAR styling, and that big block 383 and 4-speed box were given a few performance treats as well. Knowing that the braking systems of the day weren't exactly built to stop these things in a hurry, a set of larger Wilwood rotors and calipers were bolted in up front, and of course the suspension lowered and reset to make it go around New Zealand corners, along with giving it that cool race car stance. So the interior got a refit as well, including the carpet and the hood lining. The dash even got sent to Canada to get a rebuild. It has the new luminescent gauges and it's actually really cool to look at, actually, quite neat. So all the chrome and stainless fixtures were painted out just to give it that real race car look. It's not here for show, you know. This is a way cool looking car, even before the Dukes of Hazzard got hold of them and went crazy throwing them over hills. So like pretty much every muscle car or hot rod built, there's always something to test you out. We call them teething problems. Somehow it's supposed to make us feel better when mysterious things just happen and we end up sitting on the side of the road. The personalised plate Dodgy reflects the first few runs, and on all accounts, this cool looking muscle car from 1966 still puts a smile on Paul and Dale's face. So check it out. Alan and Anita Norris's beautiful 1963 EH Holden sedan. Doesn't this take you back a fair few years? Looking at a Street Machine magazine thinking, oh my god, that's cool. And it still is. Holy. This is pretty much the same thought that went through Alan's mind when this creation started to evolve in his head. This isn't just a showpiece either. Everything about this build is to have this staunch looking Street Machine cruising the streets, putting smiles on people's faces, and definitely Alan's. It's hard to believe when crawling under and over this car that most of this was built around 18 years ago. The body and paintwork is still stunningly smooth and straight, and this doesn't just sit in the shed either. Since being finished and driven from Auckland to Muscle Car Madness in Rangiora, the South Island, the same week it was finished, this thing has clocked up around 28,000 kilometres. It's no slouch either, running a strip time of 10.6 seconds on a quarter mile, still wearing its mufflers and street trim. It's pretty damn cool. It's honestly amazing to see this build still looking as stunning as it is today. That big shiny thing up front, that's a 355 Chevrolet engine poked in there with a BDS 671 blower on top. There's a whole bunch of goodies poked inside of that. That all drops out through a twin 3-inch exhaust straight out the back underneath the diff and straight out. She's pretty cool actually under there. This all drops into a TH350 auto back to that 9-inch limited slip diff, making those big wheels turn. Now those wheels, they are 15 by 12s in the back there, so you can see why the big tubs are in there. Alan's goal to be able to cruise it on the streets was fully thought through in this mission. It's a massive 1 metre wide radiator poked in up front with electric fans, keeping it cool while the rest of us are just cooking. Underneath the car is just as stunning as the rest. The chassis and undercarriage are colour coded to match the top. Massive stainless steel exhaust tubes just run straight under the diff and out the back. The boot area is also dressed up. Fuel cell and the battery box is surrounded by leather trims as well. You would think this was just a drag car by that huge engine poking through the bonnet up front, but it's actually a really staunch, drivable blow-in street machine. It's really cool. You can cruise in traffic and then go for a skid. It's an amazing car. It really, really is. I fully take my hat off to Alan's build here. It's very impressive. So check it out.
take a look over your car, Ken. It's too good to put out there. What are you doing? Oh, he's saying he agrees. I can't figure out what's going on here. All right, we have the official word from the guys. He's good to go. I do not suggest, if you own a Tirana of this quality, taking it onto the burnout pad. Of course, there's other ideas.